Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Dogbout333, and welcome back to Arts Round 4, The New Order, Last Days of Europe as the Soviet Republic of West Russia. Now, in the last video, we started preparing for war against Orenburg and the Euroleague in order to just put him in our spear, because, honestly, I'm too lazy to do anything else. We're also, getting to working out of our poverty rate. And before we continue, you might notice, wait, the data's wrong. What's up with that? Well, it's actually pretty simple. I went to record, I was recording the next part, and all of a sudden, I don't know why, Shadowplay just decided to crap out and no longer be able to record things. And because of that, it recorded like about maybe 15 minutes of a 45. And the thing is, if it stops recording for whatever reason, the video is no longer usable. So that video is gone. Just outright. So that's not really nice. But, here we are. Just trying to figure it out. So I went back a little bit. Try to do exactly what I did in the last video. I took count of what was up, what we still needed to do, and yeah, just continuing from here. So we can go ahead, trying to catch up the best we can. We have strikes. I believe we have maybe two more focuses, and then we're more or less caught up, I want to say. Move into Orenburg. There we go. So we got that. Offensive lines. Prepare to move in even further. For now, we'll integrate the Orenburg commune. France sides with Italia. Interesting. We'll improve those worker training programs. Here's some black market trade, even though I just keep downgrading that. I fucking hate the black market. Fuck the black market. All my homies hate the black market. I'm learning from the past. I forget if I read that or not, so I'll just... Hope Sasha makes it big someday. That would be nice. Shout out to Sasha, man. He's making some moves, trying to get that girl, trying to, get some paper, get some expertise to make that paper. Wait, we're communists. We don't have paper money. Do we? I don't know. I don't think we do. That's besides the point. He's making moves right now. Okay, we moved in to take Orsk. And now we just kind of gotta push through. That's our main concern. Gotta get working on building some more artillery. That's the main concern right now. Maybe not the main concern, but one of the main concerns. Yeah, the one thing about pushing against the Euroleague is that they have amazing bonuses. Better industrial equipment. Like, it's increasing 2 times a month. What the fuck? Why? Why are you doing this to me, game? And Caucasia is falling apart. You attack there. You move into there. Get a bit of an encirclement. Not that it matters too much, but it'd be nice. Let's go ahead and work on a union of workers rather than the German-held industries where slaves toil and die in both cruel and inefficient ways. We aim to free the worker by granting him not only a fair salary, but the knowledge he needs to improve both his standing and his productivity. So we do have paper, okay. If we instruct our factory crews in the latest advancements in industrial production methods, we'll create a loyal and skilled workforce and make a great leap forward in our quest to save Mother Russia. Beautiful. Free military factories. More artillery, because we are very behind on artillery, I'm noticing. So we're moving into there a bit better. Alright, so that got figured out. So it doesn't matter that we fell back a bit there. Looks like these guys, for whatever reason, are getting out of their capital. So, does that mean we're just going to be wide open to take it? Is it going to be that fucking easy? Fuck off for the black market arms trade! I'm not giving... I don't have a fucking opportunity... No, you hold out there, buddy. No. You fucking dunce. Let him... No, you fucking idiots. No! I'm stopping all fucking movements. You dunces. You absolute buffuns. Okay, now you move in. Oh. Come on. The Germans win World War I, now that's fantasy. World War II, yeah, that's easy to accept. But World War II, come on. Is that enough to get them out? I think it is. Support companies. Beautiful. No national focus. Let's get a Union peasants going. One of the greatest mistakes of the Soviet Union was the excess reliance on industrial cities. The people need to eat as much as they need in order to be both healthy and loyal. In the larger scheme of things, famine can be as much as a catastrophe as any military defeat. By providing our farmers with modern machinery, subsidized by the state, and teaching them how to properly use and maintain them, agriculture output will increase tenfold. An army marches on its stomach. This is valid for countries too. Alright then. We'll go ahead and do a front line to there, and then we'll prep an offensive line here. Now that we will have to go to war against Sverdlovsk, but in case we have to, we will be ready. We can go ahead and integrate all this good stuff. So we'll do that. Click those buttons. Improved main battle tanks. Beautiful. Just got a comment today from a guy saying, hey, you should invest in tanks and get them ready for upgrading, you know, and going into the front, which is a good idea. I think I just kind of started doing that in this other video. But we'll start just by converting these guys into sort of tanky divisions. A little bit of a slower process, but yeah. No, we're trying. We're trying to get our guys better. Now we're looking inwards. We're looking for self-improvement. That's really all you can ask for at the end of the day, guys. Just be better than what you were doing before. That's the most important thing. You know, you're not going to be perfect, but you got to just keep pushing and shoot for being perfect. That's... That's what I'd say. That's my pep talk of a day, I guess. Okay, we got a union of peasants. A union of pheasants has been completed. Let's do the Special Development Committee. Actually looks like a pretty nice bonus. It's only temporary, but still. Russia is vast, and there are large swaths of land full of yet untapped potential. Natural resources waiting to be exploited, fertile land abandoned, and broken infrastructure can be found in all parts across the motherland, and even within the part that we control. By establishing a commission tasked with the individualization and development of such areas of paramount importance, if we are to establish ourselves as a serious contender for the unification of Russia. Failure won't be tolerated nor forgiven. There we go. Caucasia is still kicking ass for, you know, a literal chair. Utterly abandoned. For a chair, they're doing a pretty good job at war. Alright, so we'll integrate the South Urals. Easy enough, honestly. Independence for UAE. We'll see how that ends up going for them. Get some more tanks going, as well as, I guess, a few more guns. Won't hurt. We'll work on those. Our industrial societal development will begin to rapidly improve. I'll take that. I will. Okay, we'll go ahead and do... integrate regional infrastructure. Ever since the fall of the Soviet Union, many warlords and disloyal officers have claimed pieces of Russia as their own. Throughout the years, roads, railroads, and power lines were disrupted, repaired, sabotaged, rebuilt, and destroyed again by a variety of different actors. As a result, emergency repairs and lack of standardization plague our country and cripple our economy. By instituting a new and uniform set of standards, especially in rail gauge, we'll be able to slowly integrate the infrastructure scattered across Komi, and will be a starting point for our future endeavors should we be able to expand and reclaim the long lands of the Soviet Union. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Repairing Soviet infrastructure sounds like a really good idea. Some solid bonuses there. Better industrial expertise. Beautiful. For now, we'll cut spending all around just to hold off on that debt increase. So yeah, only like part 2 of the other series, the first series I'm doing is up yet, because, and I want to have a backlog a little bit, and I want to be a bit more proactive with how I record these, because usually it's like I wait a little bit to upload them or record them, especially like the Germany one. I kind of like record that as the days went along. And because of that, just sort of behind a fair bit on some of this stuff. And so I want to be a bit more proactive and just have like a bit of a backlog of stuff to upload. Now that's bad for getting comment feedback, but it's, you know, it's a nice, you know, reassurance, you know. Urban industrial development. Our cities have been hit hard by the fall of the Soviet Union and subsequent German bombings. Thousands of people live in huts as their homes have been destroyed, and damaged power lines and industrial machinery jeopardize our production efforts. Without industry, there is no Soviet Union, which means that we have to restore our cities and industrial hubs to their former glory. Repairing urban areas, especially restoring electric power and kickstarting our industry, will slowly but surely bring us back into shape, and the people will surely appreciate it. You'd fucking hope, at least. I mean, I guess you never know with people, do ya? I mean, I like people, but sometimes they suck. That's my hot take. But yeah. Just so, you know, this might date this video a bit, but this is going up. I'm recording this right now when it's still October. So by the time this video is up, we might know who the next U.S. president is. Which, you know, we'll see what happens there. Jesus. That's a whole fucking thing that I just want to be over. Because this election cycle has just been fucking horribly toxic and divisive. And just not nice. And I just want, you know, good old communism. I want to just make the Soviet Union great again. Is that so wrong? Maybe it is. I don't know. Resource extraction initiatives. For preliminary investments completed, we can now start a serious resource extraction program. Newer infrastructure and improved working methods are a nice start, but in the end they can't change the situation on their own. The state needs to intervene with more subsidies. By granting our mines with state funds to buy the latest extraction machines and directly linking our railroad systems to each production facility will increase efficiency across the board, speeding up extraction and cutting costs. We need everything we can get to save Russia. Pants out for me. That makes sense. So have this tank kind of... Yeah, we need more main battle tanks to be produced. Which we might as well get on then. Get a nice little general base going. Now, unfortunately, we only have one extra general here. So that's what? One more set of these guys. That'll be good. And from there we'll be good with these general. And the other guy will be a tank general, I'm thinking. So actually, we already have a tank division there. So we could have had another. We could have kept that one guy, I realized. But, hindsight. Resource extraction. Let's go ahead and do... What do we want to do? Academic base. Poverty relief programs. We've seen a radio broadcast from Irkutsk in Siberia from a socialist regime known as the Far Eastern Soviet Socialist Republic. The state is led by the former head of the NKVD, Enrik Yagoda. While they boast the same policies and even government ministries of the old Soviet government, it also unsurprisingly appears that the NKVD plays a larger role in Far Eastern society, with the police state and surveillance being extensive. Yagoda claims this is a temporary measure to preserve socialism state and will lessen the NKVD grip on society once the situation stabilizes. However, the question of whether to support an extensive police state with ties to the old Soviet government remains. Out of the depths of Siberia, the Union returns. Parentheses, except. I guess we're accepting this shit, okay? We'll go ahead and do some rural agricultural development. Now that we have set the basis by teaching our farmers about the modern agricultural production methods, we can bring this a step forward by establishing a concerted development effort for our farmlands. By subsetting larger infrastructure such as aqueducts and irrigation channels that individual farmers would not be able to afford, we can not only increase our agricultural output, but also foster a sense of gratitude among those who will benefit from our efforts. We serve Mother Russia through its people. And that makes sense to me. More poverty relief programs, because getting out of poverty as soon as we can is going to be very nice. Also probably do that foreign instructor thing after this. Because a better army is always a good idea. Well, let's get working on the new generation of weaponry. I doubt we'll have guns out by whatever happens here. There goes Diefenbaker, who I noticed the past couple games I've been getting Diefenbaker in Canada. I'm trying to think who else we have. I think they have like Trudeau, I want to say. Pierre Trudeau. Old Justin's Papa. And then, ooh. Have I ever seen the Popular Republic of the Congo before? I don't know if I have. Maybe I'm just blanking, but I think that might be a new thing I'm seeing. I don't know. I don't really, after, you know, all this breaks up, I don't really know what everyone in Africa can do other than, you know, the Congo Civil War here. And, you know, Botswana's Zimbabwe versus ZANU Zimbabwe. Which I don't know why these guys go to war, but I'm sure we'll figure that out one of these days, whenever they get content to Africa. We've already done so much for our agricultural sector, but we can do even more. Our motherland is cold in weather, but warm in maternal instincts. If we want to truly rebuild Russia, we must care for everyone. Providing food is the first and essential step. To this end, we shall increase investments into farming machinery, build even more advanced and dedicated infrastructures, and employ the latest technologies in seed selection and intensive farming. By our efforts, we shall turn every corner of our land into verdant fields. Sounds nice to me. I mean, there's nothing really much like going on in Africa or South America. The most important thing that happened in South America is fucking the Guyana War, and that's really it. Let that sink in for a second, I guess. More divisions. I'll go ahead and put these guys here. Scottish state. There we go. Niels is bathed in blood once more. Weapons improvement. Let's go ahead and do better rifles. Good old AKMs. From what I remember, it's a very solid gun. Oh no, the AK-74, that's like the really good gun that I remember from Battlefield 4. Because the only Battlefield I really played was 4. To like any solid extent. It's Battlefield 4. What else? Yeah, I played a bit of 1, not enough to really remember much. Grigori glared at the Unionists and the massive canvas-strap bulky thing behind him. Give me one reason why I shouldn't throw this thing off our property right now. In all his years on the farm, he'd worked through a half-dozen beasts of burden, all of them annoyances in the flesh. But this was quite something else altogether. The Union simply nodded eagerly. This machine has been sent to your town by direct order of the Agrarian Advancement Council, approved by the chairwoman herself. He spoke the last clause with near reverence. Grigori, already a low assessment of a man, plummeted still further. He hated blind worshippers of things. God, the Republic, this chairwoman character. Had he even voted for her? And most of all, the metal machines had now raked his neighbor's fields. God, how he hated them. Not that he believed in God, but the intensity seemed only fitting. The Botcharobs and their gas-gulping abomination, he'd been grilling something in his yard when the stench hit, and the cutlets never recovered. He never gave in to their monstrosities. The Unionists, hearing all this, shrugged sagaciously. My orders are to simply pass this to you, Mr. Grigori. What you choose to do with it is your own business. With that, he walked away, and Grigori sighed as he began the mental calculus of fitting this within an already crowded homestead. The next morning, he rose to find a flat canvas in his backyard and a distant whirring. Looking up, he was horrified to see young Andre whooping in as he cleared a month's worth of harvest in minutes, waving his hand like a cattle herder. Grigori kneed his temples. He could feel a fierce headache brewing already. Research facilities and agricultural base, I believe both been upgraded relatively soon. Yeah. We'll work on improving both. Get down from there this instant. It's a very dad thing to say. Finally, our efforts are bringing results. Industrial and agricultural production have increased by several orders of magnitude, and their people have us to thank for their newly found prosperity. Our lands have been healed from the scars inflicted by war, and we have recovered from our backwards methods. This is enough, though. The Soviet Union does not desire to follow, it leads. We can't be satisfied with copying what others invented, therefore we shall return to the forefront of innovation. Our scientists and engineers will work without rest to discover new and more advanced production methods, so that we may forever be one step ahead of our rivals, both inside and outside of Russia. Makes sense to me. Another fella. Go ahead and add him then. Still working on reinforcing some of our tank guys. Well, we'll get to that eventually, you know. Still got the means for future. We're getting that base bleed coming in. Very nice. Prove that even more. This is coming along pretty well, honestly. I forget which video I said this, but the whole societal development in TNO is a really great way of making you feel like you're going somewhere. There you go, smarter academic base to the future. Let's go ahead and do the experimental curricula. The traditional teaching methods and subjects are fine for elementary schools. Superior education, however, especially universities, need to adapt to the new times or we risk stagnation. By introducing new study courses and experimental curricula, we can revolutionize our education, help our students find what they excel at. Revolutionary minds produce revolutionary ideas. The Soviet Union is the very embodiment of the concept of revolution. They're not wrong. When I think revolutions, I do think the Soviet Union. France, too. That's one of the revolutions, and they could probably... I mean, a revolution might be an okay idea, but they also might get fucking butchered. Yeah, they're all just, like, associate... Right. Germany got Bulgarian, I think that's it. The rest are just, like, you know... There's still Serbia, actually. The Iberian Divorce. You hate to see it. But you probably hate to see, you know, the Iberian Civil War even more. So, you know, you take what you get, I guess. There goes the Congo Republic. Yeah, okay. So we'll go ahead and hire foreign instructors. Because our army professionalism is going to be something that, it's going to be kind of hard to get better. Like, we'll have, what, the People's Army? That really seems to be it. Unless these defenses give us something else. Okay, innovative union. Gone are the days of decadence and backwardness. Gone are the fields tended by workers and the factories where farmers toiled with obsolete farmers. Gone are the child workers and the empty classrooms. This is a new Russia, a new union, where progress for both the nation and the people reigns supreme. We've done so much, but we still have much more to do. The past is no longer stalking us, and now we are the ones chasing the future. New investments in science and education will send us barreling into a new era of progress. Leonid was perceptive for his age, so he was the first to notice that something seemed odd about the recent lesson. They seemed to switch in focus and methodology almost every half semester. The teachers were looking even more frazzled. He'd even been earmarked for speaking too much in class. While he was guilty as any prankster his age, he at least knew to act innocent when the class was looking. No, something had to be going on. He whispered it to his little clique during lunch. For at their age, it was almost taboo to ever confess a great fear to the adults. Gazing around with all their grizzled intensity of a hardened conspiracist, he admitted, I think there's something going on in school. There's been a lot of changes going around the place. I was trying to go for like an Alex Jones voice. That's not Alex Jones. Petrov giggled. Surely you must be joking. In our school, nothing ever happens here. If anything, we're getting dumber every day we attended. Vadim nodded, ever the follower. But Lena was insistent, as with all young prophets. No, you're not getting it. Think about it. When was the last time you got a test back? Sounds around the table. Exactly. We keep changing our lesson formats, too. When we were suddenly speaking up in class a lot, 6 months ago, old Miss Adriana called for us to sit down and keep quiet. Then Miss Sakharova told us, we should try those new drawing things. What are they, charts? Vadim popped up. Yes, I love that part. Shamefay switched right back to reading. I hate long words. He pouted, and the group shared a moment of silence for his lost. Anyway, something's wrong, but I don't know what to do about it. Leonid shrugged, and his face brightened a bit. But hey, I guess there's a bright side to everything, yes? If we keep changing classes, our homework doesn't matter so much either. He smiled. And that means we can go play with Misha the Alsatian after school. Who's with me? Hey, maybe we can start a dog petting club. Oop. England defeats Scotland. Rule Britannia. Britannia, rule the waves. Britons never, never, never shall be slaves. Here we go now. Rule Britannia. Britannia, rule the waves. Britons never, never, never shall be slaves. How's England holding up? Looks like good old Margaret Thatcher. She's getting her shit together. Which is good for her. It seems again the OFN cucked the Unity Pact out of, having England. Which is nice, because the reverse happened. We cucked the US out of having them in our faction. Which is weird. They need to figure out that whole thing in the next update. I'm glad they didn't do it when I played, so I can get England in and join, all my stuff. But it's a bit of an issue they should probably get to. Figuring out. Probably escalate the land reform programs in a bit. Actually, our agriculture is fine. Might invest in some better research facilities. Yeah, that's better. What do we want to do? We can do a modernized force, or we can do some foreign policy stuff. I think we'll work on foreign policy. We're turning to the world. The dark days of a warlord era have finally come to an end, and our young nation has climbed out from the abyss to establish itself as a true regional power. In the past, we have had little need for our foreign ministry, as diplomacy in the warlord period usually involved the sword rather than the pen. But the world beckons now. We find ourselves in need of capable diplomats now more than ever. The foreign ministry shall be expanded to meet the requirements of properly conducting international diplomacy. They shall begin making contact with the nations of the globe as soon as they are able. Let all the foreign powers know that socialism has returned to Russia in earnest. There we go. How's Suomi doing? They're hanging in there. Old Yeltsin is doing a victory for democracy. Oh no, our math worked. No wait, we still have another guy once we move them to our tank guy there, but we can no longer see these guys. Oh, there we go. I remember that happened sometime during my Tomsk LP, and I was like, what the fuck? Because I guess I accidentally pressed this, and their units disappears. Like, what the fuck am I... And I got a little triggered there. And someone in the comment section thankfully just told me, hey, you gotta do this, this, and this. if that ever happens. So shout out to whoever that is, because that was a while back. But, yeah, returning to the world. Not a good time, so. Restore international trade. The White Sea now lies open to us, and yet we still have no proper fleet to conduct international trade with. The nature of the Arctic waters makes this task more difficult than it would seem. The port of Arkhangelsk is almost entirely frozen over during the winter months, and thus our merchant marine will require a specialized fleet of icebreakers to break through to our trade partners. According to the Foreign Office, the nations of Scandinavia are already quite receptive for our offers of establishing trade. Due to their relative proximity to our ports, it would be a relatively hassle-free journey for our merchant fleets as long as they are able to circumvent the frigid conditions of the White Sea. Yeah, that works for me. Margie not going, yeah, England not going with Her Majesty's and then Socialist. It's going to lock us out of one of our focuses. Which kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world. Something for industrial expertise might be nice, too. Maybe industrial equipment. That probably needs some help, too. So I'll take that. I mean, kinda, yeah. I'll take that. I mean, anything that sets up us up better for, you know, innovative industry. Okay, Serbia sides with Germany. It's a little bit better off, okay, for our industrial equipment. Rudimentary, so we'll go to factory complexes, then modern, then cutting edge, I think. Mass mechanization, eventually go up to modern agriculture, so we'll be fine there. Primary schooling, go to secondary, tertiary, academic golden age. Research facilities, ours are modern. Then what, politicized academia. Be nice if they went up to cutting edge research facilities. I don't know exactly how they'd work. We'll do some transpolar diplomacy next. To the untrained eye, the foreign wastes of the Arctic seem like nothing more than an insurmountable obstacle of any kind of fleet. The ice provoking an inconvenience for the port of Arkhangelsk in the winter months. Well, it's not entirely false. The truth is that these frigid waters are among the only remaining gateways into West Russia still controlled by Russians. As such, it would be prudent to foster good relations with the various nations of North, which all extend olive branches across the polar territories. Scandinavian countries such as Finland and Sweden are to receive requests for diplomatic recognition, while the very first overtures toward the nations of the OFN shall be sent to Iceland and Canada. No nation is outside of our reach, even if they lie beyond the treacherous waters of the Arctic. And there we go. And widespread cronyism is just not nice at all, so getting it up at least to political interference, which I think that's what will happen. Now, a professional army. And Spartan discipline will not happen more than likely, but if that could happen, that would be neat. And nuclear stock power. We'll see what happens there, I guess. I don't think, like, I think Omsk can get a nuclear weapon. Omsk, maybe Tabby, Russia, which we're still not fucking playing, at least anytime soon. The whole point of, like, I already said what the point of the series is. I don't want to repeat myself. We'll swap this guy over. Get our militias replaced by some other guys. Beautiful. Got our good old 20 wits working for us. And from here, I think we'll get working on a modernized force. Our efforts are paying off. The Red Army is beginning to closely resemble the very same force that crossed the A line into fascist-occupied territories nearly a decade ago, finally bearing the makings of a professional army. However, the truth is that we have not gone far enough. Our current Red Army would be considered top-notch in decades past, but it's hardly up to modern standards. The General Secretary has approved a massive increase in funding for the Red Army, to date with more intensive modernization efforts. No longer shall we lag behind the rest of the world. So the application of cutting-edge modern technologies and intuitive new tactics, the Red Army shall be transformed into a force ready to face the modern battlefield. Beautiful. I know America will be up to some stuff soon enough. They'll have their elections. In the test game I did, Old Wallace ended up winning again, but we'll see if that's still the case. Industrial expertise, that's what we want to work on. We get that bonus in industrial tech. Beautiful stuff in general, so I'll take that right now. Free military factories. Get working on more of those tanky boys. Advanced infantry rifles. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, Vladimir Bushin. What do we got here that needs to be moved? You. The individual formerly known as Mr. Carr. We'll move you all onto this little border. This will be like a proving grounds, I guess. Testing grounds for our new tank divisions. Cut our budget. Try not to, get horrible amounts of debt. Probably not going to work out realistically, but it's a nice idea. We'll swap over to AKMs while we're here. A new generation of weaponry for a new generation of soldiers. Actually, probably just the same generation, really, but still. More tanks. Better guns. I'm trying to think. Ooh. Ooh. As our military state starts mobilizing Cloud Circle and Horizon, it seems our conflict of interest shall be settled on the battlefield rather than the negotiating table. Okay. Guess we gotta prepare for war then. Okay, Ural fortifications. Okay, infrastructure. This is all okay stuff. Raise additional reserves. I don't think we need that. We'll do fortifications, primarily. Some anti-air stuff. We probably don't need the infrastructure drastically, but it would be a nice bonus. Alright, the Soviet Republic of Western Russia has overcome its obstacles and conquered all other nations in its way, either through peaceful unification or forceful war. Now it stands at a precipice. The vast territories of Russia are expansive, and while the Soviet Republic controls a significant portion of it, there's still much more to conquer. We must begin preparing for a war that will challenge our military, unlike all the other wars that become for us. Shall fail. We'll see who stands tall in the end. I'm guessing that's supposed to say, we cannot fail, we shall not fail. Something like that. So much for diplomacy. Democracy. We're still kind of democratic. The People's Army. The Invade is the rank and file who make up the beating heart of the Red Army. The soldiers of the Soviet Union were at one time legendary for both their devotion to a socialist cause and their unflinching tenacity in battle. Our own troops are certainly not lacking either of these aspects, which help to further encourage such professional ideas for the new recruits as well. The ideal vision of a true revolutionary soldier must be realized once again. We need able men and women who are willing to undertake any sacrifice necessary for the motherland. Soldiers who would make the Red Army worthy of proclaiming themselves as the strongest. There we go. Ooh. Should we put our tactical efforts toward the Red Army, or do we aid some of the other services? It's an interesting question. On one hand, we do have something about the German air superiority. We have to do something about German air superiority. An Air Force would give us a certain advantage over the other warlords. A submarine fleet might be able to do fun things with German shipping. But is it worth it? The Air Force will never be as good as the German one. Neither will the Navy, with far limited industrial potential. Navy wouldn't be that useful in the wars we have either. And the efforts we would put could make our army just a bit better. I think let's branch out a bit. Diversity. A 300% bonus for recon companies. I'll take that. We don't even need that much, but that sounds kind of nice, so I'll take that right there. I mean, if I had to guess, I think we'll probably come out of this with the upper hand. I don't want to, knock on wood, all that good shit, but looks like we have more troops unless they're missing something. I mean, they have some more tanks, so these guys up there might be a little bit buggered. But we'll get, some forts on those defensive lines. All that good stuff. But that'll have to wait until next time, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm going to have to cut it here. So thank you as always. We'll research some jet engines, get some better planes going. Thank you as always for watching, ladies and gentlemen. If you liked this video, go and leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of this content in the future, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for more uploads every weekday, as well as every Saturday. If you have any comments, feedback, concerns, anything of the sort, go and leave in the comment section below. I read all the comments I get and appreciate any all feedback you kind of might have for me. If you want to send a few bucks my way, I have a Patreon. If you want to chat or play games, I have a Discord. If you want to see me do this sort of stuff live, I have a Twitch. All of which are down linked below. So yeah, thank you as always for watching, ladies and gentlemen. My name has been DB333, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.